Hello everyone, today I'm gonna go through a couple of my X-T3 settings, and some of you have requested what are my camera settings, and I have been shooting for this new camera for about like 4 shoots already. So I'm gonna just show you quickly of my camera settings. So right out of the front diode, I have this auto ISO, and the lens I do the aperture adjustment. So mostly it's aperture priority mode, and this is the exposure compensation diode that I use most of the time when I'm doing the backlight portrait. So I adjust this one a lot when I'm doing that, and I never pass the custom C mode, so those +3 to -3 are enough for me. So these are my top settings, and on here you can see it is the metering, focus metering. This is the factory default, and then the first one is the point. Then the second one I think is the point plus average, and then this is the default. I think it's area, overall area, and this is the average. So point plus overall area is the default one that I'm using. I don't use the point metering, like focus metering, for the backlight. So I use mostly adjust this dial for the backlight. So let's go through quickly on this custom menu. So the Q menu, let me adjust the lighting a little bit so it's darker so the screen looks better. Okay, so auto AF single point focus are the one that I'm using the most, and this one I don't change dynamic range. And white balance, I use the fluorescent one. So the next one I don't change the next line until here. The film simulation, I use the classic chrome. So this is a quick overview. Tone I don't change. S tone, soft tone, high tone, S tone, H tone I don't change those. Color +1, sharp +1, because the shadow and highlight and shadow, I can just adjust it later in the Visco app later, so I don't need to change those. And the bottom one I don't need to change. I don't use flash. And this one you can adjust the brightness of the LCD, so it depends on how bright do you like. I just set it as the default. So let's go to the menu quickly. I'm gonna go through the menu from the top to bottom, just to let you give you a feel of what I'm setting. I'm gonna quickly skip through the one that is default. So image size I didn't change, the default 3x2. Image quality fine, the default one out of the factory. Oh, let me adjust the lighting some. Raw recording I didn't change. The classic chrome, so film simulation I don't use. Grain effect, color chrome effect I don't use. And this is the fluorescent one is a warmer, second one is a middle, and then third one. So I'm switching in between these three, among these three. And sometimes you can use cloudy for the warm tone, because most of my photos are warm tone. So I use the white balance of the fluorescent one. So dynamic range I don't change. As I mentioned before, these are the same, +1, so only the color +1. You can pause it a little bit if you want to check it out. So I don't change these for the first lot. Okay, the next one, focus area. This one there's no use. Let me go back. This one is just specify what focus area and then the second one is the single point focus. AFC custom setting. Right now I'm setting at the 5 for movement. I just set it as a 5. I think the factory default is 1. I just set it as a 5. Sometimes if I capture the spots, I can capture it nicely. So for the continuous focus, sorry, I'm adjusting my lighting. The lighting is pretty like dynamic right now. Store AF, I don't change this one. Number of points, I set it to the maximum 425 points. Pre-AF of AF illuminator is off. I don't use a lot of that. I use if at night I'm just position the portrait next to the neon light. I don't need that those lights, the illuminator for me. So this is the most requested setting. I shot some of the video with this face on, eyes on, eye auto, face on. So both of them on. And if I want more control, I just turn them off, because sometimes I want more control of the points where I want to focus, and I feel like more in control. But that the new mode is pretty cool. I tried a couple times already, as you have seen in the previous video. AF plus MF autofocus and manual focus together. I didn't turn it on. Manual focus assist, since I don't use manual focus a lot. So these are my settings. Touch screen mode, I set it off because sometimes I feel like very easily just accidentally touch it. So I set it off for now. Maybe later. So right now I'm setting it off. Drive setting. So this one I had some trouble with this one, because when I first came to this mode, it was like 8.0 FPS. So I was like, oh, where's the 11 FPS? So apparently I have to press the up button in order to go to the 11 FPS. And you can go to all the 30 FPS with 1.25 crop in the electronic shutter also. So I use the 11 FPS, the highest for the mechanical setting, and the continuous low I set to the 5.7. So sports finder mode on, I just turn it on just in case some sports. And yeah, these are some of my settings. Oh, the shutter type. Right now there are a couple more new shutter type. There's a E front curtain shutter. Is it the suitable for shortest blackout time? So that's the mode. Maybe I can do some tests on the movement later on. So it's called E front curtain shutter. So curtain shutter. So we will see. But right now currently I'm setting at the ME, just like what my X-T3 was setting at. The flicker reduction, I turn it on just in case the night flicker on the screen. So auto ISO, I just set the first one. Right now default sensitivity, let's see, default I set it to the lowest for the light. The maximum sensitivity, I go all the way up to the highest, 12800. And in order for sharper images, make sure the minimum shutter speed set to the 1/125 per second. 1/125 second, so that it's faster the shutter speed. And I might do some performance on the ISO later. I can compare both camera with the X-T3 versus X-T2 on the ISO or low light portrait. I can shoot some low light portrait with that. And that's the ISO, and these are the wireless communication. That's okay. Flash, I didn't touch anything of this since I use them. I haven't touched any of the video. I changed that to 4K mode just to see how it's going. So, and connection setting, I let me see. yeah, there's a Bluetooth setting. Now you can set up Bluetooth pairing registration, and I have an Instax. I can do the Instax camera. So let me go back. Instax camera, and then yeah, those are the general settings. So that's it. These are my first quick video for the settings. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more X-T3 videos coming up next. Thanks. Bye.